my name's Joseph Pytcher. The topic I wanted to talk about today was why you as a real estate agent should keep your commission and not rebate it back to the seller or buyer, or reduce your commission if you're listing a property. I feel very passionate about this topic, and that's why I chose this to be our second video. Several reasons why you should keep your commission is that you worked very hard for it. Here in Texas, you have to have 270 hours of education before getting licensed, which means you spend a lot of time going through all your education before you can even take your test and pass it. It's hard-earned experience that we have as real estate agents and why we should keep our commissions. And so when you're working with a doctor or a lawyer or anything that requires a license, it takes a long time and a lot of experience to be good at what you do. And if you are good at what you do, then you shouldn't be taking reductions in your commission because you're being paid what you're worth. Not only that, you're investing in marketing. And let's say you take on a listing and you're trying to sell a client's home, right? So what are you going to pay for? You're going to pay for marketing, maybe paper and digital marketing. You're going to pay for photos, maybe drone photography. You've got quite a few expenses that you're going to pay before that property even hits the market. If you're spending all this money and then you rebate your commission, you could end up in the red. Another reason why is that agents are negotiating ninjas. And what that means is that with our experience, we're able to get you much better deals and possibly even sell your homes for even more. And you have to ask yourself, is that worth it to a client to reduce your commission because you may not have the same incentive to sell that home for as much as you think you can, or help your client purchase that home for as low as you think you can without that additional incentive? Now, you might say, that's a great argument. However, I have a fiduciary to my client. Well, you do have a fiduciary and you always should do what's best for the client. However, we are in this business to be paid, and we are paid for our expertise and for owning our license, right? So getting license is a privilege. It's not a right. And when you have a privilege like that, then you need to be compensated for that privilege as well as the risk that comes with that privilege. And by risk, I mean being a licensed individual, you can be sued and you could lose your license by the state that provides you your license. And with those risks comes compensation. That's why attorneys get paid. That's why doctors get paid, because of the risk associated with having a license or with the education that they get leading up to that point. Another reason is, look, time is money. And if we are working and putting our time and effort into helping our clients either buy or sell their property, then we need to be compensated for that time. Let's say, for instance, you're putting more time into a project that is going to end up paying you less than a project that you would have otherwise made. That opportunity cost that you're losing on the other project where you could have made more is going to be more valuable and lost opportunity. So you have to look at every deal that you're putting time into as a commodity. And where is that time best allocated? And it's always going to be allocated towards the deal that makes the most money. However, if a deal that requires less time, then there are some instances where taking a less commission makes sense because you're putting less time into that project. Another reason why you shouldn't give up your commission is that a lot of real estate agents don't do a lot of business a year. Most agents do probably 1 to 2 deals a year. And if you're giving that commission on that one deal or those 2 deals, then you're really kind of hurting your livelihood. You know, a lot of agents have families to feed, they have bills to pay, they have dreams to chase. And if you're asking your agent, or if a client is asking you to reduce that commission, that affects your entire livelihood for you and your family. So let's say, for instance, you have a client that's asking for a 1% rebate, or if you've got a client that's asking you to take a reduced commission on a listing. Here's my rebuttal. You ask them this question. If you were working a full-time job and your boss came up to you and said, you were doing a great job, you're doing awesome, you're one of our best employees, and then they asked you to take a 33% salary reduction, how would that make you feel? Well, the concept applies when a client is asking you to take that reduced commission as well. You're putting all that time and money and effort into a listing or helping a buyer, and you know that you can provide an amazing service and do a great job only for them to ask you for a reduced commission. It's the same concept. Just remember that this is a partnership between you and your client. Yes, you do have a fiduciary. However, if you're both working for the same goal, then you shouldn't be having to ask your agent for a reduced commission. The amount of time that it takes to get your license, the amount of money it takes to get your license, your own livelihood, and your expertise as well are all super important when it comes to reasons why you shouldn't be reducing your commission. I hope this video helps you out. I hope it gave you some pretty good reasons as to why you shouldn't reduce your commission or give rebates to your clients. There are some instances I think it works. If you're working with a seller and they're also going to work with you when you purchase another home, I think that's a great reason why you should maybe take a 4 or 5% commission versus a 6. But any other instance, there's no reason why you should be giving up your commission, especially on the buy side. If your client asks for a rebate on the buy side, don't be negotiating with your clients on the buy side. They're not the ones paying it typically. So that's already been pre-negotiated between the seller and the seller's agent. If you have any questions, comment down below. I hope you'll subscribe and like to this video, and we'll see you next time.